Hello my lovely angels, this is your girl Sim, back with another episode of the Sim Squad. Hi! So as you can tell, I'm feeling a lot better. I still have like a little bit of inflammation, I guess, what makes your voice sound a little nasal or hoarse or whatever, but it'll go away slowly. But I do feel like every day I'm getting my energy back, I'm getting my will to live back. Cannot will to live, but like, yeah, kind of like, you know, living a normal day-to-day life. Like I never thought I will miss like living a normal, pain-free, sickness-free day-to-day life. This is like what I've become now. This is what I, you know what, aim for. This is what I strive for. Just have a normal day. So today I'm finally doing the balance fall perfumes, fall winter perfumes. I already did a part for Lattafa because Lattafa already has like so many perfumes, and the majority of my collection is from Lattafa. Like you can't see it right now, but those right there. I need to like switch it up, you know. I'm gonna do it soon, one of these days. Let's start off with the first one, which is a new one, and this is Miraj, exclusive by French Avenue. This is supposed to be a dupe for your Bewitching Yasmin by Penhaligon's. I know it's not a very well-known perfume and everything, Bewitching Yasmin, but it is something, if you smell it once, you're not gonna forget. And this is nothing short of that goodness. It's a predominantly jasmine perfume with hints of incense and vanilla. But you also have like this kahwa note, okay? It's a coffee, but it's a coffee with, if you just add cardamom. Let's not call it kahwa. Think of it as a coffee with some cardamom note. This is all this perfume smells like. But when you smell it, for some reason, you feel it is much more complicated than what I just said, you know? Although you'll just smell those notes. Like, think of the opening of a sweet jasmine with vanilla and some incensey notes, and then you have your cardamom coffee. It does have a lot of oud as well for people who are not oud experienced or oud familiar, you know. But this oud is not banyadi. It is a very clean oud. It's very sweet. So it does smell like a sweet oud perfume, but not something like Shaghaf Oud or Badial Oud or Amethyst, or, you know, because it doesn't have rose and geranium and saffron and all that stuff. This retails for around $50. The rating on Fragrantica is 4.33, which is a lot. If I had to categorize this, it's a spicy floral. The projection is very good. It's like around 4 feet. Longevity is 8 hours at least. And I said that this perfume feels like how a mage would smell like, because it's truly like bewitching. It's very intriguing. It's very mysterious and dark, you know. But the fact that it has like a lot of floral in it, the jasmine, it makes it a feminine scent more than a masculine. Although a man can pull this off, but it's definitely more suitable for a woman. And the Middle Eastern vibe in this is like mid. My rating for this was a 10 out of 10. It was so gorgeous. Like you know what, as a matter of fact, today I'm gonna wear it. Look at my clothes, you know, I'm gonna wear this perfume today to work. Next we have another one from Liquid Brun. Sorry. We have another one from French Avenue. It's called Liquid Brun. That's the bottle. I'm gonna do this video, like, I think I've arranged it brand-wise, which is excellent. So, Liquid Brun is a dupe for Altair. And it's a stunning, stunning perfume. It's not bang on Altair, okay, by Perfumes de Marly, but it's almost there. But I feel somehow this is more wearable. It's a powerhouse perfume. It's a beast mode perfume. In the opening, you have citruses with spices. So you have cinnamon, cardamom, orange blossom, and bergamot. And then in the middle notes, you have bourbon, vanilla, and elemi. And elemi is the note that's like the most prominent note in this, and that's what makes this perfume what it is. And in the base, you have sweet notes of praline, musk, ambroxan, and gaiac wood. While it does lean a little masculine, I feel this can be worn by both parties. It can be worn by a male and a female. But in winter, where like a lot of things are forgiven, right? Like you just like wear whatever you want and you can get away with it. It doesn't have oud, but for some reason it does smell Middle Eastern. I said it's like a mix between Oriental and Middle Eastern. This again smells very dark, mysterious. The opening, because it's a little fresh, but it has that hints of spices, you automatically get the assumption that it's going to be a serious perfume. but then the sweetness takes over because the sweetness is praline and it's vanilla together, but then it has your ambroxan and all that stuff. Like it just becomes a little sweet, and then it's like woody as well. And that LME is magic in this. So I said before as well that Miraj is a mage and Liquid Brun would be a sorcerer. This has got a much higher rating on Fragrantica. It's got 4.7. The projection for this is 4 to 5 feet. You don't need to spray too much of this perfume. You don't need to spray too much of it. The longevity is 8+ hours, and my rating for this is again a 10 out of 10. It's a beautiful perfume. Of late, all the releases of French Avenue especially, I really like them. Especially these mysterious dark perfumes which they intentionally released for fall and winter, I suppose. They have done like excellent. They have done an excellent job. This will cost you around $40. Next we have 4 perfumes from Swiss Arabian. Because Swiss Arabian, if I could put, you know, I need to make an entire video just for Shaghaf Ouds, because all of them kind of qualify for fall winter fragrances except for the Ahmar, which can be used throughout the year. Let's start with the first one, which is the Shaghaf Oud Tonka. This iconic bottle. Already the Shaghaf Oud bottles are iconic, but then they made this color, which is excellent. By the way, the caps are always like different colors and shades of gold, which is amazing. This one is supposed to be a dupe for BDK's Tonka perfume. I love that Tonka perfume. By the way, initially when I bought this, it was that almond note was very strong. It was like the core, that bitterness of that almond was like coming through a lot. The more it macerated, the sweeter it got, the colder it got. And now it's just become like a very balanced perfume. But of course, the prominent notes are Tonka and almond in this. So the top notes are almond, middle notes are cinnamon bark, which I can smell like ever so mildly. Then you have Tunisian orange flower and Turkish rose. Cannot smell the rose at all. Orange flower maybe a little bit, like in a sweet floral kind of way. And in the base you have Tonka vanilla and amberwood. So it does get like a little woody in the base, but the almond and Tonka just remain like very, very prominent. So think of it as like a Tonka almond fragrance with vanilla, with mild white florals, with a hint of cinnamon. It's a stunning fragrance. Like for me, this is again a 10 out of 10. I know a lot of people don't like this perfume, and a lot of people gave up on it, unfortunately a little bit too soon, because the perfume did change quite a bit and became like well blended. It did not really need maceration for the performance sake. It needed maceration for it to become a better blend. And now it's like blended so perfectly. Like I'm telling you, literally every single perfume I'm picking up today, I'm feeling like I should wear it today, you know. I feel it is super underrated. It's a very pretty fragrance. It's a very beautiful fragrance. But you do need to absolutely love almond. I know some people just do not like it. You really need to love almond to appreciate this perfume. The projection, I would say, is like 2 to 3 feet. Longevity would be like definitely 8 hours, but it's not going to project like crazy. Middle Eastern vibe, not so much. Unisex for sure. And now my rating for this again is a 10 out of 10. Wow, so far every perfume I've done is a 10 out of 10, which is like... Next we have another Shaghaf Oud. I mean, I'm telling you, Shaghaf Oud, I could have put so many Shaghafs over here. I really wanted to put the Aswad or the Azraq, but I recently featured them in some other videos. So I thought I'd put the Shaghaf Oud Elixir. This is slightly more vanilla than the original, but less sweet, if that makes sense. The vanilla is more accentuated. This I feel is more wearable than the original Shaghaf Oud. Everybody's asking me, what's the difference? It smells, the core of this perfume is the same. They smell the same. It is your oud and your rose with like lots of saffron and vanilla, which makes the perfume smell very, very sweet and cold. But for some reason, this one is just more wearable. I'm so happy they released this version because Shaghaf Oud, while I love it so much, which is a dupe for Oud Bouquet by Lancome, but this one is like a more wearable version. The vanilla is like super prominent in this. Your rose and everything comes in the picture, but like it's there in a very strangely mild way, which is hard to believe from the Shaghaf Oud perfume, right? Especially with this color, with the gold and everything. But this gold is a little muted than the original gold, and that kind of makes sense for this perfume. The top notes for this are saffron, oud and pink pepper. Middle notes of rose, praline, oud and sage, and the sage does make a big difference in this. You cannot really smell the sage up front, but you can smell it in a herbal way in the background somewhere, and it kind of balances and makes this perfume more wearable and more like it calms you down, it relaxes you and everything. And in the base you have your oud again with vanilla, amber and musk. It's a complicated perfume, but it smells, when you smell it, like you can't really identify like a strong oud, strong rose, none of those, right? Smells more like a vanilla perfume, and then it has all these added notes to it. The projection for this is around like 4 to 5 feet, and the longevity is 8 hours for sure. This is again a 10 out of 10. I told you if I could give more rating to this one, I would have given it to it. It's a beautiful perfume. I've worn this so much more than the Shaghaf Oud original, although I have that Shaghaf Oud for a very long time. But I told you I save it for occasions. This one I can wear it anytime I want, and even for layering, this one is excellent. Like I can layer this with the Tonka and make it like a more evening wear kind of a perfume as well, with like a little bit more of an oomph, you know. This one is like a very acceptable perfume in terms of in the category of oud perfumes, you know. We have 2 more from Swiss Arabian. The next one is again, maybe not for everybody. This is your Amber 07. First of all, the bottles of these perfumes are amazing. Unfortunately, I do not gravitate towards a lot of others from the same range. I know the Rose 07 is one of the prettiest versions of Delina. I don't want it because I'm not so fond of that DNA anyways, and I don't want it. There's one called Musk 07 that I'm eyeing, and I'll buy it for sure once the Prime Day sale hits. It's a musky fragrance, but it's a beautiful kind of musk. Amber 07 is a little bit of a vintage kind of perfume, because it's definitely very heavy on the amber. The top notes for this are amber, dates and cinnamon. So you can imagine which direction it is going in, right? In the middle you have rose, ylang ylang and orris. And in the base we have sandalwood, incense, vanilla and patchouli. It is very, very Middle Eastern. It's something I've been smelling since childhood. So it's not like a revolutionary perfume for me, but in the sense it smells like very, very traditional, you know. And for everybody who will smell this, it'll remind them of something or the other from their childhood, or a soap bar, or there was something there which was very Middle Eastern, but the smell is something that you smell in all the GCC countries. It's not just the UAE, in all the GCC countries. As a matter of fact, I feel I smell this more in Saudi Arabia than in the UAE. And it's that heavy incense with the amber. This is a super cold perfume. I don't know where that coldness is coming from, but it's like the perfect balance of amber, the florals, the sweetness from the dates, your vanilla, your incense, your patchouli, your sandalwood, like everything. The patchouli is also like that sweet patchouli. It's not very, very earthy. It's not dirty. But I'll tell you one thing, that this perfume will definitely make you smell vintage. But it's a very pleasant, comforting vintage. This is something I would want to wear around my loved ones. It's more familiar. Like I would want to wear this around my family. I'm sure if my mom smells it, she's going to have something to say about it, because it's a perfume that we've been smelling since our childhood, you know. It's a very, very beautiful fragrance, by the way. It's something I'll keep in my collection forever just because of that nostalgic value attached to it. The projection is like 3 to 4 feet, longevity 8+ hours, hands down. Again, this is like a 10 out of 10 perfume for me. I had given it an 8.5, but honestly, like right now when I'm smelling it, it's kind of getting better in the UAE. We are still in the 30s in the temperature wise, but next month onwards, we're going to start seeing like a massive difference. And I'm already appreciating all these fall winter fragrances, and this is like another one that I absolutely love right now. Next from Swiss Arabian is Casablanca. The fact that I used up so much should say everything about this perfume. This is your apple pie perfume that people call it. For me, this is more like a heavy dose of, yes, apple caramel with some grape drink. That's just the opening. But then it quickly settles down to what I would call like a slightly woody, slightly balsamic, slightly floral, with an interesting suede in it somewhere in the background. So it's not just like a simple apple pie, oh my god, I'm going to smell like edible and I'm just going to smell like apple pie. No, it does not. First of all, it's not crusty enough to be an apple pie thingy. It doesn't have that very strong baked quality. Yes, when it dries down like super dry, maybe you get that warmth and everything that you feel from the filling of the apple pie, not the entire apple pie. I just feel this is one of those perfumes that you need during the holiday season, especially because it's very caramelly apple, and because it's very warmth inducing. It just makes you like this, gives you this fuzzy, comforting feeling inside. Like this is something I just pick up and spray on myself like generously if I want to feel calm, cozy, and it's something I pick up like when I just want to feel good, and I don't even think too much about it. It's just that, you know, when you come in front of a cupboard like this, which has so many perfumes, it can get like really tough to pick a perfume. A lot of people did ask me, Steven, how do you decide in the morning what to wear? I'm telling you, it's instinctual. It's like literally, you wake up in the morning and you gravitate towards a certain perfume. But this certain perfume is something I gravitate towards a lot, which is why it's like almost gone. By the way, once this finishes, I'm going to get the essence version, which again, people ask me, what's the difference? All I can say is just a little bit more concentrated version of this perfume. It smells exactly like this. There are minor differences. It just felt like an upscale version of this. That's it. Like, I do not feel like much changes in that. So this one again is a 10 out of 10 for me. Longevity, 8+ hours. Projection, 3 to 4 feet, depending on how much you spray. All I can tell you is stays on your skin and your clothes like for the longest time. When you put it in the wash, it's still smelling of your apple pie, the sweetness, the mild woodiness. And it has these interesting notes like put in like very short doses, and small doses, short doses. Small doses like suede, your Peru balsam, your patchouli and everything that don't really bother you that much. If you know me, you know I do not like apple fragrances, especially if it smells like apple juice. This smells like cooked apples, which is like... There's no Middle Eastern vibe in that, by the way. And I do feel it's unisex. Anyone can wear it, but it leans more feminine. So we are done with the Swiss Arabian perfumes. The next one is Sweet Heaven Extreme from Fragrance World. Now, a lot of people told me that they bought it and they did not get the cherry note in it, which it's strange to me because I can... Look now, it's a little macerated, right? Yes, while it does smell like angel share and everything, the cherry liquor smell is there. Cherry liquor smell is there. Like, I don't know, maybe your bottle needs to macerate more, and just make sure that you picked up the extreme version and not just the Sweet Heaven. To me, this is like, let's just say, khamra with more coffee notes, not the kahwa coffee. It's more of like the actual coffee note, and then it has the cherry liquor in it. The top notes for this are coffee, lavender and bergamot, middle notes of tonka and geranium, and the base notes of cherry liquor, sandalwood and musk. Now, if you're expecting it to be cherry dominant perfume, it is not. The cherry note will stay from the beginning till the end, but it's not a cherry note, it's a cherry liquor. Yeah, there's a difference. I don't know, just smell it again, like let it macerate and smell it again. For me, it's like unmistakably there. It's like, I don't know, in my bottle, I can like strongly smell it. The coffee is like very mild, stable, along with the bergamot and lavender that's adding a little bit of freshness. So this perfume does not feel stale or boring or too heavy or too heady or oldish, or doesn't remind me of a man who's smoking a cigar or something, you know, in the club, what do you call a jazz club, or no, it's not a jazz club. They're one of those gentlemen club where they're drinking their scotch and whiskey and everything, you know. So it does not remind me of that. This reminds me more of a comforting cabin in the wood kind of perfume, but then you have like fresher notes of lavender, your cherry liquor, your bergamot on the top. It just makes me feel like comforted. But if you have khamra, intoxicate, angel share, sweet heaven, I don't know if this is worth adding to your collection, because yes, while that cherry note is adding something interesting, the lavender and bergamot is giving it a little bit of like a fresher twist. Like, do you need like so many of the same angel share composition, you know? It does feel like a flanker to angel share. Once it like starts like drying down, the smoothness in the end is like to die for. That base note of this one, oh my goodness. Like, this is that perfume that I will spray. When I spray it on myself, I want to spray it everywhere because I want my entire surrounding to smell of this perfume. This again is a 10 out of 10. Guys, I don't know what's happening. Like, literally every perfume I've picked up right now, because I'm a very fall winter perfume girly, so most of these perfumes are going to be 10 out of 10, okay? Unless the performance is like terrible, then I'll be like, you know, I like the perfume, but the performance is not all that. Beautiful. On Fragrantica, it's got 4.92. I don't know, last time I checked, it was 4.92. So people do like this perfume a lot. Next, we have back-to-back Khadlaj perfumes. And the first one is, this is actually from the sister company La Fed. This is from the Opera range and it's called Noir. And this is a dupe for the Louis Vuitton's, oh my god, Louis Vuitton's Matière Noir. I said this is a vampire perfume and I'll stick to this. This smells like something underground. Reminds you of rain and damp soil from the get-go. Then comes like heavy florals like jasmine, rose. It definitely has other florals, but you can smell it. And then it has currants. And that rose and the currants and everything together smell a little jammy. But imagine like it just rained and the dark soil, it's wet, and you know the smell it gives off, the petrichor. But like a very, very strong one. Like you're so close to the earth that you can smell it like strongly. This smells literally like how you would smell if you wore a nice, beautiful rose heavy perfume and it rained and there's like mud and slush around you. Okay, it's not sounding very good the way I'm saying it. Guys, it's a very beautiful perfume. It's getting stronger the more it's macerating. It's becoming more earthy somehow, you know, which I love because I have nothing in my collection that smells like this. A lot of people are comparing this to other fragrances. I literally, out of this whole entire lot, I don't have any perfume that smells like this. The earthiness in this is next level, and it is definitely wet earth drenched, like rainwater drenched earth, and how the rain smells like, how the air smells like. Cold, wet, like earthy. The top notes for this are blackcurrant and water notes, which is clearly why you're getting that watery note. Heart notes of rose, cyclamen, narcissus, jasmine, sambac, absolute. And the base notes, it does have agarwood, patchouli, incense, benzoin, and caramel. So you have like your sweetness, your agarwood, your patchouli. The agarwood is then like a woody sense. It's not even like a smoky or barnyard or any kind of strong agarwood. It's a very mild, very well-balanced agarwood. If you did not know there was agarwood in, actually you know what, you would know it's an agarwood perfume because you can smell it in the background. And that woodiness of agarwood is like really coming through. Guys, if you're looking for a perfume that smells like petrichor with florals and agarwood sweetness, go for this one. It's such a stunning perfume. Oh, like it's just making me feel so happy right now. 10 out of 10. The projection is like 3 to 4 feet, longevity 8+ hours, hands down. It does smell a little Middle Eastern, but I don't know if I can call this a Middle Eastern perfume because it smells, I don't know what category to put this in because it's just smelling so beautiful, smelling very earth-like, you know. It's unisex for sure, and some people might actually think this is meant for men. I don't think so. I think it's a perfect unisex. Next we have Le Prestige Royal. It's called Hibisco Nirvana, and there's a big difference between the two. Now this one, while it does smell like hibiscus mahajat, now the thing is I've not smelled hibiscus mahajat for a very, very long time. Try to get my hands on it, like, you know, I don't remember it smelling exactly like this. When I read the notes in this, like it kind of like makes sense and kind of does not make sense because I feel for sure there's lychee in this, and like the lychee, like the fresh juicy lychee, fresh juicy lychee. Like you've just peeled the lychee, but the lychee skin and the juicy fruit inside, both of the smell together gives me that feeling of freshness and greenness. But I think it's also coming because it has water lily in it. So I don't know where that lychee smell is coming from. The top notes are spearmint, blackcurrant, bud absolute. Middle notes of cinnamon, Turkish rose absolute, and water lily. And the base notes of amber, ambret, benzoin, cedarwood, leather, and vanilla. It's a mix of very strange notes, and this definitely smells very niche and strange. It also kind of smells like lotus, okay? And I know this with water lily is the culprit in this, yeah, which is making me like reminding me of lotus flower or of lychee and everything. This again somehow smells watery. It smells floral, but in the most magical form. They have not listed hibiscus over here, but hibiscus is like clearly there. But it is this blackcurrant bud absolute that's making this perfume the way it is. It also has like this mild greenness, but it's like a smooth mild green. Like if green was in a milkshake format. I know it will not make sense to you guys. But like it's not like a harsh, sharp greenness. It's a smooth greenness. And I am really liking it. They have another perfume in this range, which is meant for spring, summer perfumes. And it's a Prestige, Le Prestige Empress, which also has a greenness that I really like, which usually greenness is not something I like in my perfumes. This one smells exactly how the bottle is. So this bottle is like a dark green. Actually, I wish this bottle was like a dark purple because this perfume smells purple to me in my mind. Like it's a beautiful floral. It's like a strangest, weirdest kind of floral that you'll come across, and it's absolutely stunning. Like you need to try it before you buy it for sure. This is for me 10 out of 10. Again, my goodness, like each and every perfume is a 10 out of 10 today. It doesn't have Middle Eastern vibe, by the way. It does have like a strange quality, niche quality to it, but just because it's a strange niche perfume does not mean it's Middle Eastern, you know. The projection is like 3 to feet and the longevity is 10 plus, longevity, yeah, it is actually 10 plus hours. It's more than 8 hours for sure. This is the strangest kind of sexy perfume that you'll come across. Think of like a rose and water lily kind of perfume combined together with like awkward notes with it, but they all blend very well together. Next we have a big favorite of mine. This is the Karus Secret Musk by Khadlaj. And I told you, for me, this smells like Arabian Tonka combined with Baccarat Rouge 540. It has the DNA of Arabian Tonka with the smoky oud, rose and saffron. But they're done so well that like it doesn't bother you. It doesn't make you feel choked out. Doesn't smell like Lancome's oud bouquet. If you're thinking that Arabian Tonka smells anything like that, it does not. You need to smell Arabian Tonka at least once in your life. Yeah, I have it and I love it like a lot. I adore it. That is also going to come out in my winter wear, you know, for sure. But I don't feature it on my channel because it's not like a Middle Eastern perfume. This one, because it has that oak moss as well in the base and because it has saffron in the opening, it gives me like this little airy feeling. So Arabian Tonka already is like a heavy perfume, but it has some kind of weird airiness about it. This also has like a bit of ozonic airy quality to it. It feels like the perfume is floating. The top notes for this are red fruit, saffron, middle notes of tonka, chocolate and rose, and the base notes of musk, amberwood, sugar and moss. Oh, I can't explain to you. Even that chocolate in it, it's like a dark chocolate, that bitterness of that chocolate. You know guys, most of the perfumes when they say chocolate doesn't mean chocolate like your sweet chocolate, right? It's the chocolate when it's unsweetened and everything, how it would smell like. And in this, that chocolate is like that. Like literally how dark chocolate smells like when you buy it for cooking. You know, the cooking chocolate. Every single time I smell this perfume, I'm like all head over heels. It's definitely Middle Eastern leaning because of that oud and rose, which are like quite heavy. Also the saffron. It immediately makes you feel like traditional Middle Eastern perfume. But then because it has this Baccarat 540 kind of DNA going on with it, just smells very modern at the same time. So it smells like a modern Middle Eastern perfume. This is like a more wearable oud bouquet or more wearable Shaghaf Oud again. No, it does not smell like Shaghaf Oud Elixir. That's like a vanilla scent. This is like a airy, weird, mossy scent with all your traditional notes in the background. Beautiful fragrance. Again, a 10 out of 10. Projection 3 to 4 feet. Longevity 8 plus hours, 10 plus hours. It's insane. I love it so much. I finished quite a bit of it, but in winter, this is going to come out. And oh, by the way, this again is unisex. And the last one from Khadlaj is, of course, Victor Empire. I just had to get this out because it's the best vanilla probably right now in my collection. I like this so much. It is like vanilla with like the nicest florals. It has like a hint of lemon, but I would not call it like lemony. Like it's not like what was that Gucci perfume? I forgot the name. But you know which one? The Divine? No, Devotion. It does not smell like that at all. If you're expecting it to smell like Lira or like Devotion, it's not going in that direction. This one does have like vanilla lemon custard kind of opening, but then it quickly changes into all different sorts of vanilla. So you have your Absolute, you have your Essence, you have your boozy vanilla. Like it has like all sorts of vanilla, and ultimately it like dries down to like a mild floral vanilla, but vanilla being like the forward note. The top notes for this are vanilla, caramel and lemon, middle notes of jasmine, vanilla blossom and cedar wood, and the base notes of vanilla bean, powdery musk and sandalwood. It doesn't really smell powdery to me. It smells more custardy, kind of creamy, kind of, you know, custard creamy kind of, you know, not like lotion creamy. I don't know what else to say about this perfume. It's just like a beautiful, you know how Vanilla 28 became like an iconic vanilla, although we just knew it's a vanilla, you know, and in the beginning nobody appreciated it because they were like, ugh, it's just like a vanilla perfume, but it's like an epic perfume. It's so beautiful. Same goes with this one. It's just a vanilla that you need to wear it on its own or for layering or something. It's a vanilla that I go for, you know. I just like, I obsess with it. I love it so much. I wear it more often than I should, you know. It's just a stunning fragrance. What else can I say? The projection, however, is like 1 feet. It's a very intimate scent, so it'll create a scent bubble around you and it'll not project too much. Longevity, however, it's highly long lasting. But I think that sandalwood and musk in it, it's like giving it that extended longevity. So yeah, 100% 10 out of 10 again. I would say this is like feminine, it's vanilla, but guys can use it along with like some strong spicy fragrances or woody fragrances, and then they can like use it for layering. But on its own, I would say it's like a very feminine scent. Next, we have another gourmand. This is from Paris Corner, and this is the Qissah Delicious. Although I have not tried the other ones from this line, I know one smells like Yara and the other one is for men, so it's a pink one and a blue one. I really am not interested in buying any of those. This one, however, I always say this, it's like a beautiful orange cream biscuit kind of scent with some added notes, you know. So basically the core smell, like, you know, when I say core smell, it's like it could be oud, rose and saffron. This one has like orange cream, biscuit, it's biscuity smell. It's definitely very vanilla heavy as well. It's supposed to have dark chocolate in the opening, and I don't know guys, I just cannot smell it. I just cannot, like, it's not there. It has orange and whipped cream also in the opening, and that's why I feel like it's like that vanilla, sorry, orange cream biscuit, you know. In the middle you have coconut, marshmallow and jasmine, and I can definitely get whiffs of that coconut, but more like a coconut shaving that would be there in that biscuit, you know, mixed in that cream. And then you have marshmallow and jasmine, and in the base you have vanilla, soft woods and musk. It's a very mild, pleasant perfume, but it does smell like a perfume mist. So don't get your hopes up with like extensive projection and crazy longevity and all that. The longevity, by the way, it's inching more and more slowly, but it'll still, like, it's something I need to respray again and again. I only wear this at home. It just gives me like a very comforting, inner fuzzy, nice feeling that I absolutely love. I don't have any other perfumes that smell like this. I did compare it to Lolita Land by Lolita Lempicka, and it does not. That one is very, very orange creamsicle kind of a thing, and this one is more like biscuit, you know. So they are different, but it is definitely orange heavy. I love it. I love it. It's a creamy orange, which is rare. It's not citrusy orange, you know. So yeah, again, this is a 10 out of 10. Projection, unfortunately, 1 feet. Longevity is even worse. It's like 5 to 6 hours. But will this stop me from loving this perfume like crazy? I'm still giving it a 10 out of 10 because, like, I love this perfume. I've sprayed this on myself like insanely. Just telling you to lower your expectations when it comes to projection and longevity. But I think this cost me like $25 or $28 or something. So it comes very, very cheap. Next, we have another one from Paris Corner whose longevity you will not question at all. It's your Kaheela Lux. It is your dupe for Kayali's Amber Invite Only Amber. Oh my gosh. Again, of course, it goes in the same category as your Angel Share, but it feels like a mixture of Angel Share with some other DNAs, you know. Now, you know, I keep mentioning that stale note. So in the Invite Only Amber, I get that stale note. From this, I don't get it. This just feels like a more fresh version of Invite Only, a more wearable version. It's something which smells like Angel Share, a little boozy. It has definitely tobacco, which they have not mentioned. Definitely has like some form of animalic notes, vanilla, spices. Let me tell you the notes. So the opening is sweet almond and apple. Very strange because, okay, it's blended. Everything is blended so well together, you can't really identify the notes. Middle notes are cedarwood, cinnamon, hay, orris, patchouli and rose. And the base notes of amber, benzoin, cistus, ladanum, musk and sandalwood. Guys, it's just like a lot happening in this perfume. It's definitely slightly powdery, but at the same time it's boozy. Same time it's floral, at the same time it's musky, it's more resinous. It has like vanilla, spices, like it's everything. It's like everything put into one bottle. It's like, you know, when you mix all the colors and it just becomes like grey or black or something. And this is one of those. I wonder why they gave it a black bottle. No, I'm not. I'm just kidding. Yeah, just like, guys, like, in time you will learn my jokes, you know. They're weird and strange, but on the long run they make sense, okay? So yes, it is like a boozy apple cider with your animalic notes, with your strange tobacco note, which is not mentioned. You have your woody notes and your spices and everything. So it does smell very mature. It does smell very mature in the sense, not old. It smells grown up. It smells somebody who's accomplished. It smells like somebody who owns a lot of property. And one of the property is the cabin in the woods. It's definitely giving cabin in the woods, but a poshy one. It's not gonna be shabby chic or something. This one is gonna be like with chandeliers and everything. You know, it's one of those cabin in the woods. I love it so much. This perfume is something that was recommended by one of the followers, and I will forever be grateful to her because this has become like an obsession. And Invite Only, I love that perfume so much, but the only reason why I did not buy it is because, of course, because the price is too high. And secondly, because I kind of knew that it's an obsession, but I would probably not wear that perfume too often. This one, on the other hand, got it for a fraction of a price. It was like $25, $28, $30 or so. And it's kind of giving the same, but it's more wearable. And I love that. The fact that this is like a little bit more diluted, let's just say, I like that factor in it. Still, the projection for this is like 4 feet. Longevity is 8+ hours. Like, what else do you want? You know, like in a perfume that's that cheap. And I do quite like the bottle. It looks very masculine because the perfume is unisex, leaning slightly masculine. If you find, for example, Angel Share to be masculine, you'll find this to be masculine as well. If you think Angel Share is a unisex perfume, like I do, you will think this is unisex. I have a lot of Paris Corner perfumes. I thought, like, I just said in the opening of the video that Paris Corner has more spring summer. So this is your December Vanilla. This one is Sugar Patchouli perfume by Kaheela. I forgot the exact name. This is so good. It's like that rummy vanilla, but it has like a lot of patchouli. It's very earthy, but at the same time it's quite aromatic. It's sweet. It's not as sugary as you would think, with it being a dupe for, you know. The notes are rum, vanilla, orchid and jasmine in the opening. Middle notes of vanilla, spicy notes, leather, tonka bean, rose and creme brulee. Base notes of brown sugar, amber, oud, patchouli, sugar and musk. Oh my god, there's so much going on. My brain capacity is not enough to explain, okay? Just think of it as a floral. So rose is definitely heavy. It does also have jasmine and vanilla orchid, but again, it is not as heavy. So rose, vanilla, orchid and jasmine, let's just say those are the prominent notes, but they're not prominent enough to define the perfume, right? But you have like a very rummy vanilla. And then in the base, you have like a bit of sugary, dark sugary oud. And the oud is literally like the oud sticks that's like drenched in the dark essential oil of oud. You know, it's like dark, but very, very sugary. Then you have your musk and you have your sandalwood. And then you have your musk and your patchouli. It's very, very earthy. It's a strange perfume. I cannot explain it, but you need to try it before you buy it, because it's one of those perfumes that everybody will think differently about it. I think this has macerated very well. It took it a good 6 months to macerate. Initially, I knew I'm going to like this perfume, and I did like it initially, but I was like skeptical. I was like, what's going to happen? Plus, the projection longevity was crap. Now, 8+ hours. Projection, 3 feet at least. It's stunning. Again, this can be worn by men and women. It's unisex, but leans feminine for sure. If you like boozy, rummy vanilla with florals, you're gonna like this perfume. This is again a 10 out of 10. By the way, this does lean mildly Middle Eastern. We have 3 more perfumes to go. The last one from Paris Corner is, of course, Caramel Cascade. This was coming up in a... How can I not mention this in a fall-winter perfume? Although I do feel this perfume is like a wearable gourmand in any season. Now everybody was asking me what's the difference between Eclair and this one. Eclair is like, think of toffee. When you eat a toffee candy or chocolate, you know how it feels in your mouth? It smells like that. It has like all sorts of gourmands in it. Like, think of every gourmand that you can imagine, the notes, it's all in there. Your toffee, your caramel, your praline, your vanilla, everything in that toffee, put it in your mouth, that's how it smells like. Creamy. This one weirdly smells like, I don't know, it smells like that rice note is still there. Like, you know, when you pick up like a bowl of, like a packet of rice, when you open it, you know how it smells like? It has that note somewhere in the background. It doesn't bother me anymore. Initially it did. I kept calling it a licorice note, but it's not licorice. It's like that rice smell, you know? But then it kind of smells like chai tea as well. It's weird. Okay, I know I'm saying chai tea, and I told you guys not to call it chai tea because chai literally means tea. So when you say chai tea, it's tea, you know. So it smells like tea, the Indian tea, you know, when you cook it with milk, you know, because you add like the sugar and your milk and your tea, and like let's just say if that tea was not too strong, it was like more milky tea, that's how it smells like. The notes in this are caramel, milk, heart notes of tonka bean and honey, and the base notes of vanilla and musk. Okay, for people who do not know how the Indian tea smells like, right? Think of this as a milky caramel, like a very, very milky caramel. So it's more milk and honey with that caramel. But it has that rice kind of smell as well in the background. That's it. Don't overthink, you know. That's it. That's how it smells like. Caramel, honey with a lot of milk, diluted, you know. And then you have that rice smell. I do love this perfume. I do like it. I will wear this a lot at home, not outside. This is going to be a perfume that I'll wear to sleep. You know, I'll wear this and like go to sleep. If Ali is not home, probably I'll wear this a lot at home as well. Because Ali, he loves gourmands, but he's not so fond of like the sticky vanilla. And I think we think that guys like these sticky vanilla. They like sweet perfumes, but not these sticky vanilla perfumes, you know. He likes it on me once in a while, but not all the time. Strangely, I feel like there's some weird coconut also in this. Like a hint of coconut somewhere. And like the more it dries down, the more of that coconut thing comes in the picture. I do prefer Eclair, but will I like get rid of this bottle? No, I'll keep it, I'll use it up, but I will not purchase it again for sure. So I'm going to give this a 7.5, not 8. I wanted to give it 8 because I do wear this perfume quite a bit, but no, it's a 7.5. I don't gravitate towards that too. If I have to compare these two, like this, you know, literally. Okay, so we have 2 more perfumes to go and they both are so potent, so potent. One of them is from Al-Wataniya. It's called Rose Mystery Intense. And this is supposed to be a dupe for Initio's Atomic Rose. And while it is kind of like Atomic Rose, kind of like Noir de Noir, it's a perfume on its own. And I am in love with this perfume. It has a very strong pepper note. Okay, think of it as a rose syrup perfume with your water, you know, you made it in a punch bowl, you know. Then you added like pepper, you added some mystery spices, you added like a hint of earth after it has rained. This is sounding like a witch's cauldron, you know. I should have started off with it's a cauldron with like rose syrup, you know. But you know the name they've given it, Rose Mystery Intense, it's like the perfect name for this perfume. The pepper is quite prominent and I love it, but the pepper is not strong enough to make you want to sneeze or something. It's done in the right way. And if I could just say that this is like, define it in 3 notes, I would tell you this is rose, pepper and oud. That's it. But it does have different layers to it as you progress through the perfume journey from the top, middle to the base. This perfume is like an obsession for me. Oh my gosh, I think I should wear this today, not the Miraj, because this kind of goes with this attire. And I am obsessed with this perfume. I thought that nothing can ever compare to my Amethyst perfume by Lattafa. I know Amethyst is not loved by everybody, but I'm not comparing this to Amethyst, right? I'm telling you that's again a rose perfume, and I thought nothing can compare to that one. This one is going almost there. It's almost there. As a matter of fact, I'm reaching for this much more than Amethyst, you know, of late, because this has that little mysterious kind of thing going on because of that pepper. It's so strong. Like, it's equally like there with the rose, like, you know. I won't back down, that kind of attitude. And I love, love, love it. You have to love rose perfume to love this perfume. So if you like rose, it's definitely not an old woman or mature or soap bar kind of rose at all. It's a very nice modern rose. Smells like a pink rose, not a dark rose. The projection is like 4 to 5 feet. Longevity 8+ hours, like it's insane. I will definitely probably end up wearing this perfume today. Fragrantica has got 4.13, which is sad because this perfume deserves so much more love. This is a 10 out of 10 for me. And last but not the least, we have Club de Nuit Intense by Armaf. This was your dupe for Rose de Noir. Sorry, Noir de Noir, not Rose de Noir. Noir de Noir by Tom Ford. It's there, almost. It kind of feels like the same genre as your, yeah, Noir de Noir, but then you also have your Kiali's Pink Pepper, that perfume. Like, you know, clubby. The moment I smell this, I remember a club. It reminds me of a woman wearing like a very beautiful cold perfume It's so cold, like you feel like this was kept in the refrigerator and you wore it, you know, it's chilled. On Fragrantica, this again got 4.12, and I understand why. Because this smells like not a very 2024 perfume. It smells like a 2015 perfume, or 2015 to, yeah, it smells like a 2015 perfume. It definitely smells like a perfume that would be released by Tom Ford. The top notes for this are rose, saffron and geranium. Middle notes of nutmeg, pepper, violet and caraway. And the base notes of patchouli, agarwood, vanilla and amber. Noir de Noir, and they say that it smells like Ardent by Bodacia. It says it smells like Kaheela's Elixir. Sorry, it was not the sweet pink pepper, it was the Elixir. I knew it smelled like one of the Kaheela's, you know, the Elixir. It reminds me more of that Elixir by Kaheela than the Noir de Noir. I love this fragrance. I know it smells old. I know it smells like a little bit of a clubby kind of a scent. I just love it so much because while it is a rose perfume, it doesn't feel like a rose perfume. You know that there's rose in the background and everything, but it just smells like a woman who dressed up in black, wore, you know, the black stilettos with the red bottom, you know, the Louboutins, you know, and she just knows, like when she walks in, everybody looks at her. She has dark hair and she's wearing like scarlet or red lipstick, you know, and she knows how to take over. She will not dance on the dance floor. She has her table or private area or something, you know, but she's definitely going to a club dressed up like this. It's a gorgeous scent, perfect for night out, definitely feminine. A guy can wear it, but it'll definitely smell a little feminine. It'll smell like you were with a hot woman, you know. So projection is like 3 to 4 feet, longevity 8+ hours. It does have like a slight, I don't want to call it Middle Eastern vibe, because although it has the agarwood, it doesn't smell like very Middle Eastern. It smells like a model Middle Eastern. So let's give it like a low Middle Eastern vibe. I know this video must have become so long and editing is gonna kill me, but I was expecting it with this like massive collection, you know, because I wanted to do all the fall winter perfume, because I'm so delayed in releasing this, because I know there's fall winter everywhere almost, you know, except for in Dubai. For some reason, winter is like, not ready yet, not coming out, you know. So we are expecting some weather changes in the next couple of weeks. Hoping winter comes soon. Anyways, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.